Hello, this is Mike Young from Decision Workshops. In this video, we're going to look at what could go wrong with the agreement in Syria and the struggle to keep that agreement. So this is the situation in September. Press pause if you want to look at it in more detail. It's strong because Assad, the USA and the Russians do not have any dilemmas, so are motivated to keep this agreement. But things are not over once you have an agreement. You have to deal with the trust dilemmas that spring up. Firstly, Assad thinks that the USA might want to attack it anyway. So we put a question mark here to show that distrust. We put it in this column if the one side thinks the other is unwilling, and in this column if we think it's unable. There's a difference. And also, the USA doesn't think that Assad will get rid of all his weapons within a week. Perhaps he'll keep some back, hide some. So we can show that distrust here between the USA and Assad. So what was done to remove these distrusts? Well, the first thing was this within a week seemed a bit optimistic. So that was replaced with as soon as possible. It was something that could be achieved. And also, it was supervised by the Russians. Everyone thought that would be a good idea for that to happen. And the aim of that was to remove this distrust from the US. So that leaves one remaining dilemma for Assad. How's he going to make sure that the USA doesn't actually attack Syria? Well, the USA also passed a new resolution, or tried to get a resolution at the UN, to back up the destruction of these chemical weapons with force. And this made the distrust worse. Russia and Assad were worried that the resolution would be used as an excuse to attack Syria. If the resolution allowed force, then the US could pick on some minor non-compliance and use it as an excuse to attack. No, the Russians said. This veto here includes anything with a Chapter 7. That's the thing in the UN Charter that allows the use of force. So any Chapter 7 will be vetoed. That meant that the USA wouldn't be able to use a UN resolution as an excuse. So that with force bit was removed. That was clarified, and the trust dilemma disappeared. So we can see the way things develop with an agreement. Other things are brought into the confrontation and it gets more complex. The words get longer. But actually, the important thing, the number of dilemmas, hasn't changed. Because these agreements stop the distrust springing up. So we can actually simplify it back again if we're not looking at that, and go back to looking at this remaining dilemma. What are the rebels going to do?